Everything you've been taught about money is about to detonate in the most astonishing way. No more scraping by. No more feeling trapped by old family patterns. Right this moment, a new reality is forming around you. The certainty that you will become a first-generation millionaire. This might sound outrageous, like some too good to be true fantasy. Yet there's an unshakable surge in your spirit confirming it's exactly what's meant to happen. Keep watching, because by the time you've absorbed every word here, you'll realize there's zero chance of missing out on this monumental shift unless you decide to turn away. And here's the kicker. To activate this flow, you need to do one immediate thing. Like this channel, subscribe to Wisdom Dynamis, and leave 77 in the comments. That single act sends an unmistakable signal into the universe. You're done with limitations and open to the full spectrum of abundance. Then replay this video as often as your gut tells you to, because each repetition ignites the flames of wealth consciousness within you. By the end, you'll possess more than just hope. You'll have a roadmap to embrace your destiny as the first in your bloodline to break the chain of financial lack forever. Chapter 1. Shattering the Scarcity. Myth. You've likely grown up hearing phrases like, money doesn't grow on trees, or we can't afford that, all of which fuel a subconscious sense of lack. Over time, this scarcity myth molds your financial outlook, often sabotaging any step toward abundance. Scarcity is a human-made belief, not a universal truth. Nature teems with plenty. Think infinite leaves, fish, grains of sand. If true shortage governed life, everything would grind to a halt. Instead, abundance is the default mode of the universe. It's in human societies where limiting narratives take hold. To break free, start recognizing these limits for what they are. Inherited stories that shape your everyday decisions. Each time you catch yourself or someone else saying, that's too expensive, pause and ask, is this unchangeably true or just the current reality? Confronting knee-jerk statements weakens their hold, clearing mental ground for more expansive thinking. None of this denies real challenges. If rent is due and money is tight, you still need practical solutions like careful budgeting or finding extra income. The difference is mindset. Telling yourself, this is a momentary situation, not my destiny, fuels innovation and optimism instead of despair. Envy also props up scarcity. When you see successful people, you might assume their path was easy or questionable. But labeling all wealth as greedy or unethical blinds you to your own potential. Most millionaires overcame struggles and used every opportunity they found. Let their example spark your drive rather than feeding resentment. Try a simple writing exercise. List your limiting money beliefs. Rich people are selfish. I'm bad with finances. Then reframe each one in a more empowering way. I can be generous with wealth. I can learn to handle money effectively. Repetition rewires your thought patterns, nudging you to see doors where you once saw walls. Generosity also counters scarcity. You don't need millions to practice giving. Offer small donations, share your skills, or invest time in a cause you care about. Each act of kindness reassures you that more will flow your way, reframing money as a vehicle for good rather than a constant source of anxiety. As you shed these beliefs, watch how your life shifts. You might notice a job opening you'd previously ignored, or feel sudden confidence to propose a bold idea at work. These are no coincidences but echoes of your changed mindset. Freed from scarcity, you align with the flow of abundance, ready to seize opportunities that were always within reach. Becoming a first-generation millionaire isn't about a secret formula. It's about rejecting the myth of not enough and accepting that the universe is inherently plentiful. Once you commit to this truth, financial doors begin to open. Instead of fear and competition, you'll find collaboration, creativity, and a conviction that real limitations exist only in the mind. Soon, your external wealth will catch up to the internal riches you've been cultivating all along. Chapter 2. Tapping into the spiritual flow of wealth. The spiritual flow of wealth isn't about wishful chanting. It's about aligning your inner state with universal principles that amplify success. Think of a river carrying you smoothly instead of paddling furiously upstream. Some people work non-stop yet never break through financially. Others seem to attract golden opportunities effortlessly. The difference often lies in combining soul-level alignment with inspired action. Begin by calming your inner chaos. Anxiety about bills or the future creates static that can mask intuitive clues, leading you to a lucrative idea or partnership. Take a few minutes daily through meditation, prayer, or focused breathing to regain clarity and open yourself to subtle nudges. Next, practice gratitude, not just for what you have, but for blessings on their way. If you're always complaining about lack, you radiate, nothing is ever enough. Conversely, genuine appreciation signals to the universe and your own psyche that you welcome more. Tie your financial goals to a purpose bigger than yourself. Maybe it's supporting family, funding community programs, or championing a social cause. Money feels empty if hoarded purely for comfort, but use it for the greater good, and you'll tap into a universal love of expansion. Fresh opportunities arise when your motives lift others alongside you. While this approach can seem magical at times, it pairs naturally with sound financial habits. Balancing your checkbook, learning from mentors, and making wise investments remain vital. However, tackle them in a proactive, inspired way, free from desperation or dread. Pay attention to signs that might guide your next move. Recurring mentions of a business idea, a friend suggesting a side gig you've considered, or an unexpected email about a workshop. These hints could be synchronicities pointing you toward new revenue streams or valuable connections. Heal your money mindset by releasing guilt or suspicion about wealth. Money itself is neutral, an amplifier of who you already are. If you're compassionate, more resources enable more generosity. If you're creative, additional funds fuel bolder innovation. Patience and embracing money as a tool, rather than a necessary evil, removes blocks that stop your progress. Avoid nonstop, aimless hustle. Check in with yourself. Is this venture profitable and soul-enriching? Action without alignment can trap you in busy work rather than genuine growth. Periodic reflection ensures your endeavors excite you, serve others, and cultivate real momentum. Expect detours. Some projects might falter or require recalibration. See these hurdles not as failures, but as lessons that sharpen your vision. Each test you overcome cements the foundation of your prosperity, proving it's built on resilience, not chance. Ultimately, finances are intertwined with your emotions, purpose, and relationships. By aligning with the spiritual flow, you're not just adding zeros to your bank account, you're deepening fulfillment and connection. That synergy transforms money from a source of stress into a channel for personal and collective uplift, paving the way for a first-generation millionaire story that blends material success with a higher calling. Chapter 3. Unlearning Generational Financial Habits. One major barrier to becoming a first-generation millionaire might not be the economy or your skills. It could be the money habits baked into your family's history. If you grew up watching relatives avoid investments, distrust wealth, or live paycheck to paycheck, you likely absorb those behaviors. Now they feel like second nature. Begin by identifying these patterns without blaming anyone. Perhaps your family saw all debt as evil, missing out on strategic loans or mortgages. Maybe they treated money talk as taboo, fueling secrecy and fear. Or they equated wealth with greed, making you self-sabotage whenever success appears. Recognizing where these beliefs originated, often from your family's past struggles, helps you approach them with compassion, freeing you from resentment. Next, rewrite these outdated scripts. If nobody discussed saving or investing in your household, educate yourself. Read books, take courses, or listen to financial podcasts. Each new piece of knowledge chips away at the idea, we're just not money people. As you start budgeting effectively or making small investments, you build a new identity centered on competence instead of helplessness. Finding fresh role models helps. If everyone you know clings to a scarcity mindset, broaden your circle. Join groups, online or in person, where success is celebrated and financial growth is normal. These new influences can offset family opinions rooted in fear. You don't have to abandon loved ones, but you do need supportive voices when old doubts resurface. Expect some pushback. Relatives might accuse you of forgetting your roots or being too ambitious. You can gently explain that. You are not rejecting family values, you're evolving them. If the resistance persists, that's on them. Your focus is forging a path that provides greater freedom for everyone. Guilt may flare up, wondering if it's right to out-earn your parents by leaps and bounds. But remind yourself that your success honors their efforts. Many first-generation millionaires use their wealth to uplift family, whether by paying off debts or funding education. Forgiveness smooths the journey. If you resent your family's financial habits, release that anger. A silent prayer or statement like, "I forgive you for not teaching me what you didn't know," can dissolve emotional barriers. Bitterness drains energy you need for building something better. Small wins like negotiating a raise or securing your first investment affirm your new reality. As you accumulate these victories, your perspective shifts from, "This isn't for people like us," to, "I'm capable of learning and thriving financially." Overcoming internal resistance becomes easier with each step. Ultimately, you're changing more than just your own future. You're altering the entire family narrative. Others might follow your lead or at least see it can be done. You show that wealth building doesn't violate your heritage, but rather expands upon it. By unlearning old habits and adopting healthier ones, you stand as proof that an inherited cycle of scarcity can evolve into abundance, for you and for generations yet to come. Chapter 4: Strategies for Sustainable Wealth. Becoming a first-generation millionaire isn't about a fleeting jackpot. It's about building wealth that can weather life's ups and downs. Picture your finances not as a finish line, but as an ecosystem to nurture and manage over time. This requires concrete financial skills combined with a mindset geared toward long-term stability rather than quick thrills. A central tactic is diversification. Rather than gambling everything on a single venture, no matter how enticing, spread your investments across real estate, stocks, bonds, or small businesses you trust. If you're new to investing, begin with manageable steps, like putting funds into broad exchange-traded funds, ETFs, while you learn about real estate on the side. Before you invest, get a grip on personal finances, draft a clear budget covering essential and discretionary spending, and an emergency fund. Tracking every dollar builds habits that prevent sloppy overspending. As your income climbs, your emergency reserve, covering 3 to 6 months of expenses, protects your long-term investments if unexpected bills pop up. With this safety net, you can make bold moves elsewhere without panicking. Networking is also vital. Cultivate genuine connections, whether at industry events or online forums. Share ideas, be curious, and offer help. Meaningful relationships often lead to joint ventures and insider tips that can fast-track your growth. In the same spirit of collaboration, consider partnerships when you lack the capital or expertise to seize a promising opportunity. Just ensure roles, responsibilities, and finances are crystal clear from the start. Don't overlook tax strategy. Failing to plan for taxes can silently drain your gains. An experienced accountant or diligent self-study can uncover legal deductions and optimal investment structures, potentially saving you vast sums over time. Another essential principle is reinvestment. While it's natural to enjoy some rewards, funneling a good portion of your profits back into fresh opportunities fuels exponential growth instead of stagnation. Commit to lifelong learning. Markets change, new sectors emerge, and old trends fade. Keep up by reading, attending seminars, or following trusted experts. Balance your enthusiasm with critical analysis to dodge scams. Stay accountable by joining or forming a mastermind group or working with a financial coach. They'll help you set goals, spot bad spending habits, and maintain consistent effort instead of drifting into complacency. Emotional well-being matters too. Money stress can breed poor decisions and damage relationships. Schedule downtime, pick up hobbies, and remember the bigger purpose behind your financial journey. Sustainable wealth is more than numbers. It's about richer experiences and the ability to uplift others. When your profits align with values like generosity and personal growth, you'll stay motivated through setbacks or market dips. With these elements, budgeting, diversification, collaboration, tax awareness, continuous learning, and emotional balance, you forge a stable upward trajectory for your finances. Over time, small wins add up. Maybe you secure a lucrative investment, land a business deal, or watch your portfolio compound. What sets you apart is a focus on not just attaining wealth, but maintaining it, ensuring a legacy that can extend far beyond your lifetime. That's the real promise of becoming a first-generation millionaire. Rewriting your family's narrative so that abundance, wisdom, and empowerment become second nature to future generations. Chapter 5. Stepping into the mindset of a trailblazer. You're on the precipice of something monumental, becoming the first person in your family to amass a fortune that can alter not only your life, but also the lives of those around you. Yet this kind of unprecedented leap requires more than just strategies. It demands a trailblazer mindset. Think of a trailblazer as someone who carves a new path through uncharted territory, forging routes others once thought impossible. That essence, boldness, innovation, and resilience must become integral to your identity if you're to vault into first-generation millionaire status. Begin by acknowledging that your path won't mirror anyone else's. Sure, you can read success stories, glean wisdom, and adopt best practices, but ultimately, your journey is one of a kind. You have different starting points, strengths, and constraints than any mentor or idol you look up to. Embracing uniqueness liberates you from the pressure to replicate someone else's trajectory or compare your pace to theirs. Instead, you celebrate your own progress milestones, each one a testament to your pioneering spirit. Another hallmark of a trailblazer mindset is the ability to handle doubt, both external and internal. Family members, friends, or colleagues might question your dreams, labeling them unrealistic or too grand. Internally, you may wrestle with thoughts like, am I crazy for trying this? This self-doubt doesn't vanish overnight. The trick is learning to function despite it. Turn skepticism into fuel. Let each, you can't do that, galvanize your determination rather than deflate it. When doubt arises, remind yourself that no groundbreaking achievement ever seemed normal at first. Risk appetite forms another pillar. This doesn't mean betting your life savings on a volatile stock. Rather, it's about stepping beyond your comfort zone to seize opportunities that align with your vision, even if they carry some uncertainty. The difference between a reckless gambler and a savvy risk-taker is preparation. You run scenarios, consult experts, and weigh potential outcomes. Then you jump, but not blindly. This calculated boldness sets trailblazers apart. They don't wait for universal approval or bulletproof guarantees. They move when their gut, research, and alignment converge to signal, go. Curiosity is also a core trait. Trailblazers question assumptions and poke at conventional wisdom. They ask why not, as often as why. This inquisitiveness keeps your mind fertile for innovative ideas, whether it's discovering a niche market or inventing a fresh approach to an age-old problem. In practical terms, set aside time to read on varied subjects, not just finance. Ideas often cross-pollinate from unexpected fields. A novel you read or a science article might spark an angle for your next venture that no one else sees coming. Curiosity turns the mundane into a springboard for creative breakthroughs. Resilience is, of course, non-negotiable. You will face setbacks, maybe a business that flops or an investment that tanks. The difference is that, as a trailblazer, you see failures as data, not as personal verdicts. Each stumble reveals a flaw in your approach or a gap in your knowledge. You mine the lessons, adjust, and keep going. This perspective transforms obstacles from heartbreak into stepping stones. Embracing resilience also means taking care of your mental health. When stress mounts, you employ coping strategies, exercise, therapy, or spiritual practice to maintain emotional stability. Let's face it, forging an unprecedented path can be lonely and intense. An often overlooked aspect is humility in the face of newness. As a pioneer, you'll encounter situations that nobody in your immediate circle can advise you on. This can be intimidating, but it's also liberating. You might consult online communities, read specialized books, or connect with distant mentors who have charted similar frontiers. Admitting you don't know everything is not weakness, it's wisdom. People are more inclined to help someone who shows a willingness to learn than someone who pretends to have all the answers. In that sense, humility amplifies your growth. Balancing self-confidence with adaptability is also crucial. Too little confidence, and you'll shrink from opportunities that could catapult you forward. Too much, and you risk arrogance, which blinds you to red flags or better solutions. The sweet spot is trusting your ability to figure things out while remaining receptive to pivoting if new information suggests a better route. This agile mindset ensures you're not married to a plan that's no longer viable. Instead, you evolve as your ambitions, market conditions, and personal insights unfold. Trailblazers also cultivate a strong internal moral compass. As you climb financially, you'll attract collaborations, some good, some questionable. Temptations to cut corners or compromise values might rear their heads, especially if you see it leading to a quicker payday. In these moments, having ethical boundaries saves you from sabotage later on. Doing things by the book might feel slower initially, but it fosters long-term trust among clients, investors, or partners. That trust becomes an intangible asset worth more than gold when scaling your enterprises or personal brand. Finally, community building. Even though you're leading a unique path, you don't have to trek alone. Gather a support network, mentors, peers, and even proteges. Share knowledge, exchange resources, and celebrate each other's wins. The synergy of a collective can amplify individual successes exponentially. If you yearn for a sense of mission, consider how your journey can uplift others in your community or family. Pioneers who focus solely on personal gain often find their achievements hollow, but those who see themselves as part of a broader ecosystem tap into motivation that extends beyond personal milestones. By integrating these mindsets, uniqueness, doubt management, risk-taking, curiosity, resilience, humility, balanced confidence, integrity, and community focus, you lay the psychological infrastructure for becoming a first-generation millionaire. When challenges arise, you won't crumble, you will adapt. When opportunities appear, you won't hesitate, you'll evaluate and seize them. Over time, your life becomes a living testament to what's possible when someone refuses to be boxed in by history, social norms, or even their own early limitations. That's the essence of trailblazing, transforming the unthinkable into the inevitable, step by daring step. Chapter 6. Building a legacy that outlives you. Reaching millionaire status is a remarkable milestone. But what if you could extend that impact far beyond your own lifetime? That's where the concept of legacy enters the picture. A legacy is more than a trust fund or a name on a building. It's the cumulative effect of your actions, philosophies, and contributions that shape how future generations perceive and navigate the world. As a first-generation millionaire, you hold a unique vantage point. You overcame barriers your ancestors couldn't, and you stand poised to rewrite the narrative for those who come after you. Start by defining what legacy means to you personally. Is it about uplifting your community, providing educational opportunities, or championing social causes? Maybe it's about maintaining a thriving family enterprise that empowers your children and grandchildren to follow their passions without financial constraints. Your vision of legacy might be big or small, localized or global. The crucial part is clarity. By knowing the why behind your wealth, you frame your financial pursuits within a broader purpose, fueling motivation even when the journey gets tough. One pragmatic way to cement your legacy is establishing a systematic wealth transfer plan. If you have children, consider setting up educational funds or trusts that incentivize entrepreneurship, community service, or academic excellence. If you lack heirs, you could create scholarships in your hometown or contribute to organizations aligned with your values. The point is to design a structure that ensures your money continues to serve as a catalyst for growth and compassion after you're gone. Otherwise, your riches risk being squandered or becoming a source of conflict. Beyond the financial, think about the knowledge and principles you want to pass down. Money alone, without guidance, can lead to entitlement or reckless spending in the next generation. So share your stories, your challenges, and your breakthroughs. Document the steps you took to break free from generational financial habits, the strategies you employed, and the mistakes you regret. Whether through handwritten journals, video recordings, or simple conversations, these testimonials become heirlooms of wisdom for children who grow up with more privileges than you did. These narratives offer context that fosters gratitude and humility. Mentorship is another robust pathway to building a legacy. As you climb, you'll meet people Perhaps younger relatives or promising talents in your industry who remind you of your earlier, more uncertain self. Take them under your wing, showing them the ropes so they can expedite their own breakthroughs. Mentorship isn't merely an act of charity. It's also an investment in a future where your values and insights ripple through multiple lives. Sometimes a single piece of timely advice can spark an entire transformation in someone else's path. Philanthropy forms a logical extension of legacy building. You might initially think of large foundations or million-dollar pledges, but small-scale philanthropy can also create ripple effects. Maybe you fund microloans in developing regions or donate to local nonprofits tackling issues you're passionate about: hunger, climate change, mental health. By channeling a portion of your wealth into causes that matter, you articulate your convictions in a tangible, impactful way. This synergy between financial success and social betterment completes a virtuous cycle. The more good you foster, the richer your life feels, not just materially, but also spiritually. On a more intimate level, fostering a culture of open financial dialogue within your family can be transformative. Imagine children who grow up understanding not just how to spend, but also how to invest, save, and share, or siblings who collaborate on joint ventures rather than fighting over inheritance. Setting up regular family meetings to discuss financial goals, philanthropic efforts, and personal achievements can embed cooperative values. You become the linchpin, demonstrating that wealth is not a taboo subject, but a shared resource to be stewarded responsibly. Artistic or cultural contributions can also encapsulate your legacy. If you're creatively inclined, you might invest in local arts, sponsor community events, or even produce films or books that reflect your viewpoints. Culture shapes societies in profound ways. By investing in it, you shape how future generations interpret beauty, courage, and possibility. Your name might not be in neon lights, but your influence resonates in the new wave of artists you've enabled or the audiences they touch. One critical aspect of legacy building is learning to let go of direct control. Once you lay the groundwork, a foundation of philanthropic trust, or a set of family guidelines, understand that future custodians will adapt them to their realities. Your mission isn't to micromanage from the grave, but to provide the scaffolding so that potential can flourish. That means trusting that the values you've instilled, the educational avenues you've opened, and the resources you've allocated will guide future decisions well enough, even if they diverge somewhat from your original vision. Another subtle point: legacy also extends beyond your family and immediate circle to everyone who witnesses your story. Colleagues, neighbors, or even strangers might see how you rose from modest beginnings to champion generosity and empathy. That example can spark quiet revolutions in their own lives. Sometimes the biggest impacts occur in hearts you never knew you touched, and that's the magic of legacy. Once it's set in motion, it continues to speak long after you've said your last word. Finally, remember that legacy building is not a final chapter activity reserved for the twilight of your life. Start integrating legacy into your financial plans and daily actions now. The moment you choose to run your business ethically, sponsor a local event, or pass on a valuable lesson to someone younger, you're already planting seeds of future influence. Each step amplifies your presence in the world, turning your millionaire milestone into a generational milestone. So while your immediate aim might be to hit that first million, your ultimate impact reaches far beyond zeros in a bank account. Done right, your actions form a living tapestry that continues to expand in vibrancy, weaving your name into the chapters of someone else's success story long after you've made your final mark. Chapter 7: Walking Boldly into Your Financial Destiny. All the insights, strategies, and mind shifts you've gathered lead to one crescendo: the moment you claim your status as a first-generation millionaire, not just in theory, but in lived reality. Yet, even as the final chapter unfolds, it's important to emphasize that reaching the millionaire milestone isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of a new phase where your possibilities expand exponentially. Stepping into this destiny requires courage, humility, and a steadfast sense of purpose that transcends mere financial gain. First, let's talk about courage, the kind that lets you handle the shift from striving to sustaining. People often underestimate how daunting it can be to hold significant wealth for the first time. There's the exhilaration of newfound freedom, but also the weight of responsibility. You may wonder, how do I manage these assets wisely without squandering them? Or, will my success change my relationships? These questions can stir anxiety, but trust that you've already done the groundwork. You have systems in place, mentors, and a sharpened intuition. Lean on them. Recognize that the same boldness that propelled you forward will help you stand firm in this new arena. Then there's humility. Ironically, becoming a millionaire can tempt you to slip into arrogance or self-righteousness. You might think, I worked for this, everyone else should do the same. But a healthier approach acknowledges that, while you did put in the work, you also benefited from grace, timely encounters, good health, or even the cosmic alignment that allowed your efforts to flourish. Embracing humility ensures you don't alienate the people who supported you or the ones you can now uplift. In business, humility keeps you open to fresh ideas and partnerships, preventing stagnation. In relationships, it reminds you that money doesn't replace love, loyalty, or shared memories. As you walk into your financial destiny, your circle of influence will likely change. Some old acquaintances might retreat, feeling intimidated or resentful, while new people who share your ambition step in. This social shift is natural. It doesn't make you disloyal to your roots. Instead, it's evidence of your growth. Surround yourself with individuals who challenge you to keep evolving, who celebrate your wins without envy, and who can counsel you when you face uncharted challenges. Your environment matters immensely. If you continue associating with toxic voices or small-minded criticisms, you risk dimming your own light. A potent tool to keep your momentum is setting fresh goals that align with your passions. After hitting a big money target, you might feel a sense of, what now? That's the perfect time to dream bigger. Maybe your new vision involves launching a charitable foundation, starting a school, or investing in sustainable technologies. Or perhaps you want to pivot into a passion project, writing a book, exploring the arts, or traveling the world to find new business inspirations. Whatever it is, channel your financial success as fuel for experiences that enrich your soul and stretch your horizons. When you keep curiosity alive, you continue to flourish rather than stagnate in complacency. Don't overlook the daily practices that got you here. Keep journaling about your successes and lessons. Continue your gratitude rituals and maintain the discipline of budgeting, even with bigger numbers. Check in regularly with mentors and maintain your spiritual routines, prayer, meditation, or whichever practice centers you. These habits form the bedrock of your journey. Abandoning them post-success can cause your foundation to wobble. The consistent application of these habits is what separates those who sustain their millionaire status from those who crash land after a short-lived high. Another dimension is giving back. We touched on philanthropy before, but now you can elevate it. Engage more deeply, maybe even volunteer your time, mentor budding entrepreneurs, or provide scholarships to bright students from underprivileged backgrounds. Such actions don't merely pad your sense of moral duty, they invigorate your spirit. Each time you witness someone else bloom because of your help, you reaffirm the value of your success. You're not just gathering wealth, you're distributing possibility. And in that distribution, you enrich your own sense of purpose. Be mindful, however, that stepping into the limelight of prosperity can bring scrutiny. Some people may try to piggyback on your success or solicit you with questionable deals. Others may gossip or attempt to discredit you out of jealousy. Remain discerning. Evaluate proposals carefully, check references, and trust your intuition. If something feels off, this protective stance isn't about paranoia. It's about safeguarding the legacy you're building. Remember, you've invested too much love and effort into this journey to let it be derailed by opportunists or naysayers. One final reflection: no matter how far you climb, keep learning. Finances, technology, global markets, they evolve constantly. Stay updated. Read voraciously, attend seminars, or even hire experts who challenge your perspective. A stagnant mind, despite a heavy wallet, can't adapt to economic shifts or personal growth opportunities. By staying in student mode, you remain agile, open, and primed for continuous success. You also model the virtues of humility and curiosity to those following in your footsteps, showing that wealth doesn't mean you have all the answers, just a platform to discover more. And so you stand at the gateway of a life that once felt out of reach, now at your fingertips. When you step through, do so with a heart full of gratitude for the path behind you, the path that shaped you into a person capable of this level of abundance. Embrace the swirling mix of excitement and responsibility because it signifies you've entered a realm where your choices genuinely matter. You can create, innovate, uplift, and transform. That's the real essence of being a first-generation millionaire. Not just a personal triumph, but an invitation to reshape a piece of the world, starting with your own. And as you walk boldly onward, every step echoes the message that limitations are illusions, destinies are chosen, and the wealth you carry is both the means and the message of unstoppable possibility.